Okay, I'll just preface this again. If there are questions about Britt, I'm going to stay away from those questions. I appreciate that. So injury-wise, Harrison Butker has an ankle sprain, and we're just going to see. He's got a little swelling in there, so we'll just see how that goes day to day. And then McDuffie, Trent has a hamstring, and you know, we're treating it. We're going to see where that goes, but he's going to struggle to make it. He'll struggle to make it to the game. Other than that, everybody is is up and rolling. We look forward to playing the challenge of playing the Chargers. We know they're a heck of a football team, and we always have great battles against them. And so again, we love bringing them here to Arrowhead. We know it'll be loud and an exciting atmosphere. So we're preparing ourselves as we speak here to get ready for that Thursday night game. With that, time's yours.
Andy, no practice today for either Butker or McDuffie?
Yeah, those two will not practice today.
As far as Harrison is concerned, how much of this is going to come down to how much pain he can tolerate in order for you to make that call if he'll kick Thursday night?
Yeah, I think if it was just a pain thing, I think he'd bear through that, but he's got some swelling in there. So I think it's a matter of him being functional enough to do it. I mean, he's a tough kid and that, so we'll just see how that works out.
Are you comfortable with a plan B as far as Justin Reid is concerned, if you have to go that way?
Yeah, no, we've got the plan B, and we're working on it.
Assuming you have to go with a backup kicker on Thursday, in your experience, how long before three of those guys get comfortable with one another? How long does that process take?
Yeah, well, we'll see if that's where we go with it.
Right.
Yeah, so we're kind of in that process right now of looking at guys and just to make sure we have things covered. So we'll see where all that goes.
But if you have to use that guy Thursday night, how long?
Yeah, well, we went through this last year and it worked out pretty good on relatively short notice. So I think we'll be okay. And I'll probably speak on both sides of my mouth here, but because I've said before that I think that time that they have together is important, but we did have success with it last year, so we'll just see where all this goes.
Coach, you mentioned preparation. How much did you look ahead? I know it's one game at a time for you, but how much did you look ahead knowing that it would be a short week?
Well, we had that extra week, and so we were able to take a glance at them. I mean, not quite as intense as what you do when you're getting ready for this game here now. I mean, but we did, yeah. I mean, we had a pretty good idea to where we could put a game plan down and go, yeah.
And how far back does it go? I believe this is correct, that you spend specific time in OTAs on the AFC West teams. How far back does that go? And what do you get out of that when you do it then?
Yeah, I started that when I was in Philadelphia, doing that during the OTAs. It kind of breaks it up and gives the guys something to look at. Plus, it's a good feeder for you. It makes coaches think. It makes the players think about who they're playing. So, but yeah, no, we did that this year too. So, and we utilized that, and then we utilized the week that we had this preseason bye week. I think we used that.
And the concept is sort of just deep study, or I mean, how would you frame what?
You don't have as many plays that you're putting in, but you're going to go in and you're going to study them like you're playing them. You're going to detail that up, and then you'll have a few select plays that you work with.
Andy, one of the new combinations for the Chargers is the Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack combination. I just wonder what jumped out to you in that first look, knowing that it's a short turnaround this time.
Yeah, no pun intended there. They do jump out at you. They're two good players. They're both healthy and moving fast. They did a nice job against the Raiders. We're aware of them. I mean, we know that they're good. We respect that. So we're working on a plan to do the best we can against them. Right?
Yeah, how eager are you to see Orlando Brown in this particular sort of setting? He sort of mentioned in the offseason, he wants to be one of the best left tackles in the league. This is sort of the first game where he can sort of prove the progress he's made over the offseason.
Yeah, sure. No, it's a great challenge. He loves that, though. I mean, that's he's very energetic when it comes to challenges. He wants to, he wants to be the best, and so this gives him. These are the things, the merit badges that you get if you take care of business there. So, but that's a big challenge, for our tackles. But again, that's why we're in this business.
Andy, the difference in Justin Herbert, as you've seen him progress, what are you seeing in film now that you see is a little differently from what you saw last season into this season?
Yeah, so every year he seems to get better. He's very smart. He understands where to go with the ball, so he's got real good grasp of the offense, and he's accurate. So he does a nice job, and that's not going to get any worse as he goes. He'll just keep polishing that, moving ahead. The experience is everything now. So.
Andy,
I'm going to go Matt and work this while we're done.
EB mentioned yesterday how important it is that you guys want to be able to prove that you can run the football. How critical is that against the Chargers, a team that knows you pretty well and is probably going to give you different looks than Arizona did?
Yeah, so I think it's important that you move the football. Running's part of it, and then throwing is part of it. And I think a mix becomes big. But when you need to run the ball or want to run the ball, you should be able to do that. That's the challenge. So when we dial them up, let's go. And there's a certain attitude that goes with that. And so that's what that's where the emphasis has been. And our guys, the linemen like doing it. So if you told a lineman he had good pass block or run block, he didn't tell you run block. I mean, you know that, right? You're going to go run block. So, and they enjoy that.
Pete, in the context of Trent likely being out, seems like you guys might rely on Jalen, who's a seventh rounder. Just what have you seen confidence level wise from someone that was picked in the last round of the draft to be able to go in there and play significant snaps potentially?
Yeah, I thought he did a nice job. The pick doesn't matter now, right? So it's a matter of how he continues to up his game with the things that he's seeing there. So that's the important part, and focusing in on the game plan and being able to execute that absolutely the best he can. And there's a lot to do when you start getting ready for these things, especially on Thursday night. You don't have the whole training camp to get ready for it, right?
Pete, Harvey.
Coach, just a follow-up on Patrick Mahomes' left wrist injury. I know it estimated full practice yesterday, but do you anticipate any issues with that at all, or is he a full go?
Yeah, no, he's full go, yeah.
Coach, general question about experience and coaching, especially in things like short weeks. Not asking you to talk about last night's game and maybe some inexperience with coaching staff, but you guys and your staff have been together for a while, have a lot of experience. How long did it take as a group till you felt comfortable as a head coach dealing with things like in the game and short weeks and all that? And is that an advantage? And I know the players make plays, but is that an advantage for a staff to have kind of experience throughout the year, especially in situations like this?
Yeah, well, you guys see it because we do training camp up there, Missouri Western State University. So it's open, and you see how much we work on those things. We also do that in the walkthroughs in the afternoon practice. So you spend a tremendous amount of time on it, and you hope that your players grasp it and want to grasp that part. And then the coaches that are responsible for their certain spots are experts at it, right? And inevitably the head coach has to make the final decision. But that's how we do it. And I've got a ton of trust in my guys, the new ones and the old ones. They spend time in it, and then we expect them to be able to have answers at that time. But the players buy in. we invite them to ask questions on it. If we're not covering it, stimulate us, with thought. So, and then we'll find that answer for you.
You've been doing this so long. How long did it take you to feel comfortable being a head coach, like through all that stuff? Are you comfortable yet? I don't know.
That's a bad question. That's a bad question, because right when you say you're comfortable with it, it slaps you. So you just keep working at it. There's always something in this crazy business, man, that pops up, and you go, doggone, where did that one come from? So
Last two, Adam and Sam.
Hey, Andy, Pat's off to another fast start. I mean, that's nothing new for him. It seems like he's always playing well this time of year. Something you can point to, or some things you can point to in his off-season or his camp or whatever it might be that allows him to just pick up right where he left off?
yeah, I just tell you his preparation, the way he approaches it. I mean, football is important. I think if you asked him, family and football are right at the top of the list there, and of things that he does. And so he's always going to put that, whether he's doing a commercial with something, he's going to put that in the front, and it's not going to disrupt what he's doing. So I think it's his approach to it. As you know, he's extremely smart. His recall is exceptional. Retention, goes along with that. But you tell him something once, he's got it, and he wants to be, he wants to be great. So.
You talk about him sort of making football a priority year round. How common or uncommon do you feel like that is in your experience?
I don't know. Listen, I've been spoiled. So I've had some quarterbacks that love football, and I mean, we had Alex Smith here before, and he loved it. And I go back to Philly. All the quarterbacks I had at Philly loved football. Had to kick them out of the building, And when I was at Green Bay, I had Brett Favre. So and played with Jim McMahon and Mark Wilson. All these guys, they love football. And when I was in college, so they, I don't really know any other way that those guys operate. I haven't had one of those that didn't, that didn't just jump in and go.
Last one, Sam.
Couple of quick ones. I wonder if, Spags implied yesterday that McDuffie's injury is because of the turf. I wonder what the frustration level is with that.
The turf,
Arizona.
yeah, well, they resodded it, that's a good thing, because they practice in there, but it was a little bit loose. That's what happens, sometimes when you resod it, it's loose. And I mean, listen, it was part of the Bucker injury and McDuffie injury. I mean, that's, unfortunately, that was part of it. Just the turf picked up, and so I would tell you that did have something to do with it. If it didn't, I'd tell you that too. So it's not an excuse by any means, but I mean, you all can see it when you watch the tape.
And then Mahomes faced, or you guys faced a heavy percentage of blitzes on Sunday. I wonder if you infer that that's maybe indicative of maybe seeing some different things this year, or is it just more Vance Joseph's?
Well, I mentioned Vance. He's aggressive, and it's that's how he's been against us. He mixes and matches, and very, very hard to get settled with all that. I mean, you got to really stay on your toes. But he's been doing that a long time. I mean, that's his style. So, and all the guys kind of have their own deal. Maybe they don't do as much as what we saw at Arizona. Maybe they do. But that's to answer your question. That was Vance's. That's what he does. So we'll see.
All right, thank you.
All right.